All right, folks, what is going on? Back with another video, and today I want to talk about the Nintendo GameCube HDMI comparison video that is long overdue. I want to thank you guys because I said I was going to do this a while back, but it's just a lot of things have been going on. But now I think I'm in a pretty good position to do so. I know in other videos I did with the HDMI comparisons, I said I was going to do the GameCube, but the thing about the GameCube is it's very I ain't gonna say it's difficult, but it's a different bag of goods. It's a lot that you can do with the GameCube, believe it or not, when it comes to the HDMI solution. I have four that I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about the Carby for Insurrection Industries. I'm also going to talk about the Hyperkin one that I have, the Hyperkin HDMI solution. Also, there's another one by Kaico that I'm going to talk about, which is not necessarily a GameCube solution, but I'll explain in a little bit. And I have the Retrobit component cable solution. Now, the component cable solution is a little different, and I'm going to tell you why I'm going to talk about that one. That one in particular is the one that a lot of people was asking when it comes to like component solutions, because a lot of people still want to use component cables for their GameCube, and I understand why. It gives out a really clean solution. But I'm going to give you that solution because it's probably the best one you're going to get when it comes to, component cables without actually buying the actual cables that are super expensive. These are a pretty decent price, and I'm going to add that. Now, another disclaimer, two of the products I'm not going to talk about is the Eon, the MK, I think it's like the MK2 or something like that. I'm not adding that one because I feel that particular solution is pretty expensive. And one thing I do lean on when it comes to this type of stuff is price. And there's been prices for over $120, $130 for that HDMI solution. I'm pretty sure that is a fantastic, solution, but I never bought it. I never had any desire to buy something that expensive for one console. So I always try to lean anywhere more than $80 for the solution. I think that would be the sweet spot. So a lot of these, products are pretty much around that spot. So I'm going to talk about the Insurrection one. This one here is the Carby. It does come with a remote if you want to use it. One thing I will say, this is an excellent product. I will talk about that. Why I'll show you the reasons why in later on in the video. But the only thing I don't like about this is the remote has some issues every now and then. I put new batteries in. They have to be at a certain angle to use the remote, but I got it set up the way I want it set up already. So I'm good to go on that. If you get that situation, got it set up the way you want to, you don't need to use the remote, you're good. But I've had issues with it. Maybe not everyone. So that's one solution I'm going to use. Also, this Kaico solution. Well, I'll get into that in a second. Talk about the Retrobit real quick. I want to go in order that I got on a ticker. The Retrobit solution is this right here. I think this is a fantastic solution. I love the quality of it. It's called the Prism component cable. I love not the solution, but the quality of this, and it works very, very well. From what I've seen. But we'll talk about that. The next one I want to talk about is the Hyperkin, which I have over here. The Hyperkin, the one thing about this and the one I'm going to show next, Kaico, you have to have, this doesn't go into the digital output. So if you look at the back of your GameCube, some's going to have, let me get this out of the way. So I'm going to have AV, which is right here, the AV and the digital right here. This only can go into the AV out, the one right here. So one thing about this, even though this does do a 720p output, this Hyperkin only can go in the AV output. So it's going to give out a really different image, I trust and believe. Last but not least, I did a video on this on the N64 video. You can check that out if you want to use this for your N64. But this also can work for the GameCube. So this is, let's see, can you see it? I want to make sure you see it. There it is right there. It's the SNES Super Famicom N64 adapter. You can also put this in the back of the AV output of this. I've used it a couple of times and it works for what it is. And I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on that since it works. And maybe some people want to use that. Now, full disclaimer on this as well. There is a Kaico version of this for the for the Nintendo, the GameCube. I used to own it. The problem with that was it went out on me. I don't know why it went out, and I just never decided to buy another one. After the one that came out for Kaico did not work, I ended up just buying this one. I ended up just buying the Insurrection one. Now this one actually works pretty well with let's say the N64, and I did a video on that. You can check that out. But we're gonna find out what it does with the GameCube. So these are all the four, things that we're gonna use, and I'm gonna give you my thoughts and opinions. So this is going to be a long-winded video. It just is what it is. So hopefully you guys will enjoy the comparisons, and we'll just go from there. Oh, also, I want to tell you, when it comes to the component cables, you're probably gonna be like, hey, VF, how are you going to use this to compare to other HDMI solutions, because this is a component? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my OSSC. I'm going to use this, and I'm just going to put it straight pass through. There's not going to be any line doubling or anything like that, so you guys could get a really good feel for what it does. If you was to put it up against, on your HDMI that has component cable, or not HDMI, but your high definition television that has component outputs, you're pretty much going to get the same look, because I'm going to do a direct pass through the OSSC. So just wanted to put that out there as well. Okay, guys, I'm starting off with the Kaico SNES Super Famicom N64 adapter. Now, if you know anything about this adapter, I didn't talk about this earlier. You can change this to composite in the S-Video, quality. Now, I'm not even going to go through the composite and S-Video quality, because I'll just put it like this. If you are going to pick up an HDMI adapter to go through composite, I personally think you're wasting your money. I'm going to leave it on S-Video line doubler. So with that being said, this is going to run S-Video to 480p output, S-Video 480p output to HDMI. So that's where I'm gonna leave it at. I'm just gonna try to give it the best quality it can. So that's where it is. But this is line doubling it up to 480p, so it's not going to give you a 480p image through the AV port, because this is going through the AV port. Another thing I noticed, when I plug this up, you see this right here? You can probably see it in my small window. The light of the GameCube is already on. As far as these older consoles go, I don't like that. I don't recommend, using this for that alone, because I have no idea what it's doing to my console right now. And it may not be a big deal for you, but for me, this is that it kind of concerns me. I know this is not built for this, but it works. And I already gave you my reasoning behind the other Kaico solution that they have for this. In the other clip, it just died on me. So I'm gonna use this. So if you're interested in it, this is the way that you could do this. So let's hit the power button to see what happens. Okay, we're up and running. I don't see anything yet. And it should show something. Okay, it popped up just directly with none of the spinning cubes going around in a circle. So I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I guess it took a while for it to process. But here we go. These things have to be powered through another device, so that's probably why the light came on. But here we are. It is running. So far it doesn't look a little blurry, but it looks okay. I'm not going to keep the not a demo, but the intro running, because the intro is kind of dark. I'm actually going to show some gameplay, and from what I see on my screen, it don't look that bad. It actually looks pretty decent. So I'm somewhat impressed with the way it looks. The 480p S-Video, the line double to 480p S-Video to HDMI. This don't look that bad. I like the way this looks. It looks pretty good. But let's go in so we can actually see some gameplay. So I'm just gonna let it sit, and it should go into the demo mode. And the screen here, it looks a little blurry, but it don't look too bad. It's Raphael versus Ivy. We're going to get into that. And now you can kind of see the flaws a little bit. It looks a little dark on the screen, but on my actual television, on my monitor, it looks really, it looks really blurry. It does. It doesn't look the best, but I will tell you right now, my capture card is giving this thing a lot of, it's giving it a lot of help in my opinion. Because what I see on my screen compared to what I see on the capture device, the blacks look pretty decent, but you can see the little jittery stuff that's going on, and it looks a little blurry. But I am, this is okay. I will say that it's okay. And real quick before I do that, let's get into a little bit of gameplay, because I don't just want to do the track screen and demo. But when you look at this, it looks really blurry on my screen. It does, and I will say that. Why not? I'm going to use Link. I need to unlock the other characters on this game. I just noticed that. Let's do a random Atheroth. Okay, that's a pretty good look to have him. And I'm going to use not this one. Where is it? One of my favorite stages on here that shows off this stage. I mean, it shows off how well this game could look. This one right here. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to move around, see if I can get him to look at the outside portion of. I'm gonna fight him a little bit. Move him over here. Okay, so I'm gonna run him over here. So now you can see the outside portion of the screen, like the foreground. See how it looks. Now it don't look too bad, but on my screen it looks really blurry. Now I'm looking at the capture device. I'm kind of seeing two different things because of the, I guess the brightness of each monitor or whatever the case may be. But you're going to be playing this game on your monitor and it looks pretty blurry. And I think that's the main thing about it. So I'm going to leave this right here. I'm going to go to the next device and we're going to go from there. So you pretty much got the gist of what I'm looking at here. It looks blurry. The windmill in the background looks pretty bad as well. But we're just going to go to the next device and go from there. All right, we're jumping over to the Hyperkin now. And the Hyperkin gives out a 720p signal. So, but one thing about this is it will tell you that there's no signal here. And that's when you know that you're pretty much using a Hyperkin type of device. Now, I've used Hyperkin and Pound or whatever the case may be on other devices. And usually the no signal thing, to me, I always felt that it was an RGB output to HDMI, but the GameCube does not do RGB like this. I know it doesn't. So I'm betting that this is another S-Video to HDMI, but it's pulling a 720, it's giving out a 720p image. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out, because a lot of people don't mind using this for the N64. A lot of people tried to use it. I did a comparison video with this and the last device I had used, the Kaico. But I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on this one, how it looks with the GameCube. So let's go ahead and get into this and see how it goes. One other thing, you see this, it doesn't give you that red light right here, so it's not powering up the GameCube, whatever the case may be. It's not giving it the orange light, so that's a good thing if you want to use this device. Okay, here we go. We're up and running. And you can actually see the actual tiles move, the cubes go around in a circle, unlike the last one. The last device, and we're going straight into it. And from what I see, so far it looks pretty good. I will say the colors are a little washed out. The brightness on my screen is a little brighter, so the darks are a little bit more out there. But I will say that, okay, what I don't like is this right here. I want y'all to see this. On my screen, it looks fine, but over here, it looks a little bit thinned out. I want to see if that has anything to do with OBS, because you're not getting this. Oh, wow. That actually looks pretty good over there though. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can fix this really quick, because I want to make sure you guys get the best. Let me see something, because this is not doing this. Okay, let's see. All right, let's see. I want to apologize for that. Let me fix that for you guys. So that's a lot better. That is a lot better. We're doing editing in real time, everybody. So I want to let you know that this is nothing fake about this. This turned out to be okay. So what happened was, even though this is going in a 720p output, it was showing a 480p output because of the last device I used. I didn't think it was going to do that. That's why I look kind of thinned out, but it's actually, you know, in the right aspect ratio. And this looks really good. I'm not going to lie to you. Even on my screen, it looks really good. This intro looks fantastic. So Hyperkin is actually showing that they can do some things. Now, I did have a situation last time when I did this with this and the Kaico. Like I said in the last video, I had to compare these two. It looked good, but when you compare them, it looked differently. But this actually looks fantastic. I'm not gonna lie. On both ends, it actually looks pretty good. That looks great. It looks a little blurry on the actual monitor, but it looks really good. So here's the intro. Once again, you got Raphael versus Valdo. And this looks really good. I'm not sitting here in front. I'm actually impressed with this. Now, will this be a situation where I have to turn back around and once I do the comparison, I won't be as impressed? But I will say this looks really good. I'm not joking. This looks nice. So, wow, Valdo, hey, nice takedown. I'm going to go into the game. I'm going to go like I did the last time, go into practice. And, you know, obviously I'm going to use Link again. And I'm just going to do another random, whatever. Okay. And I want to use that same backdrop again. All right, so once again, I want to go into, now she's much lighter to push around, so I can move her over, and I'm going to back up, and we can look at the foreground. This look, you know what? For this to be a 720p, you know, image, this actually looks good. Now, I will tell you this, what I see on my capture device compared to what I see on my screen, the colors look a lot better on the capture device. The capture device is doing a really good job of showing it. But on my device, on my monitor, the colors don't look as, you know, fleshed out. They look a little more blurry and a little more washed out on my screen. But nevertheless, it does look good. I will give it credit. It looks good. So if you want to go Hyperkin, to be honest, you won't have a bad experience. This actually looks good. It looks really good. I'm actually impressed. All right, I'm going to jump over to the component solution, and we're going to see how that pans out. Okay, now we are going into the OSSC. Now, if you know anything about the OSSC, some cases, it depends on how you have your OSSC set up, it's going to look like this. You're going to have the gray screen or whatever the case may be. Now, what I have here is the retro bit component cables hooked into the OSSC. Now, the component cables, you're going to have to use the digital out. So if you have a GameCube with the digital out, you're good to go. Digital out into the OSSC. Now, I'm not saying you should get an OSSC. My thing is, I'm trying to give you the best, the best quality look you're going to get with the component cables. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a straight pass through. There's not going to be any 4X or 2X or any type of line double in here, which I will show you guys right now. Go to the menu, and I think I already have it, the output to, there it is right there on the screen in yellow, 480p pass through. So you're going to get that directly. So what you're getting is no nonsense, anything other than like that that's going to give the OSSC an advantage. It's just going to be a straight 480p pass through once I put it in progressive scan. So let's go ahead and look at this and see how it goes. Okay, there we go. And I think I got the scan lines on. I need to cut that off. That's on me. Cut these scan lines off completely. Okay, so that's off. So I have the scan lines off of my Dreamcast. So that's another story for another day. All right, change to progressive mode. If you have the digital out, you're going to get this prompt. hit yes on the progressive mode, and you're going to see the difference between what you have with the other two that I just showed. Even though the other one was in the Hyperkin is in 720p, this is 480p, and it gives out a much cleaner look. It really does. I just love the GameCube 480p output. It in some cases it looks better than the original Xbox in some cases. So here's the intro once again. And once again, the intro does look a little dark. I don't like showing it, but it's going to show it for this purpose. And we're just going to go with it until we go into the other mode that I showed last time. But so far, so good. This looks pretty good. It looks, oh, wow. I thought the Hyperkin looked good, and the other one was a little blurry, but the OSSC, I'm not going to say that it's doing this because it's a direct pass-through, but these component cables look really nice. Oh my goodness, this looks almost nearly like an HD look. Seriously, from what I see on my screen and on the capture device, my screen, you can tell it looks like an early HD game, but it looks really good. I mean, wow, this is fantastic. This is really fantastic. All right, we've seen enough here. Let's go into the game. Go back to practice mode. We're going to go to link. And you can already see, look at the character screen. The character screen looks absolutely amazing. Okay, and we're just going to go random again. You know, I don't really worry about that. So we got two links up here now. And I'm going to go back to this stage where I like showing the backdrop. All right, so let's see. Let's go and push him over here. The fake Link, because Link don't wear red. Not from what I remember. Maybe you guys know better than I do. But you see the backdrop here. This game, turn around, Link. Turn around. Oh, never mind. I knocked him out. Okay, so this is what I want to see. Turn over this way, and then you can see the backdrop. Come on. Get over here. All right. This looks absolutely amazing. So if you have component cables, you want to hook it up to your HDMI, not HDMI, but HD TV with component outputs, you're going to get a pretty good image, because I don't think there's going to be any different from this to the OSSC unless you do like a 2x scale or whatever. And with a 2x scale, you're basically going to line double the 480p to 960p, and in some cases you may not get the desired image, but I think this looks good. This looks really, really nice. Like I said, the Hyperkin looks good. The other one did the Kaico didn't look too bad, but I think this is the best that you're probably going to get, honestly. I'm going to put up the Carby, and we're going to look at that one as well, but this looks pretty good as well. I like this. You don't necessarily need the OSSC to get this image. Just plug it up to your HD TV that has component outputs, or in some cases, if you have component outputs to your HD CRT, you may get a really clean image with that as well. But comparing to what I see, this don't look bad. This looks really, really good. I walked away from the Hyperkin because I didn't think the Hyperkin was going to look that good as it did. But this does look a little cleaner than the Hyperkin. And it just looks, the colors are actually popping out a little bit better on both monitors, because like I said, the capture card does give you a little bit of a little bit more of enhancement. But even on your regular TV screen or your monitor, it's going to look nice. So we're going to jump over to the Carby, then I'm going to do a final comparison of all four. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, folks, so we're finally at the last one. We're going to talk about the Carby, give you my thoughts and opinions on this HDMI solution. One thing about this one, this is a direct digital output. It's not going to be like the, I would say direct digital output, but I think it's still somewhat of a component to HDMI. I don't know how the Carby works. If somebody know in the comment section, let me know. But it gives you a direct HDMI solution. And you're getting the digital out straight through digital, all the way through. It's not like the the Kaico one where you take the S video to HDMI, or the Hyperkin where that looks like S video or to HDMI, or the retro bit, which is definitely component to HDMI. If you use like I said, if you use the OSSC, but you do get the analog output with the component. So this is straight HDMI. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how this looks. Let's go ahead and get into it. And we are on, we're up and running. And there we go. So you see the little prompt at the top telling you that it's interlaced, and it is going in. It says CS448i. Do you like this change to progressive mode? Absolutely. So we're going into progressive mode. Now you see at the top 448p. So I think that's their way on this saying that it's 480p. I want to say that, but anyway, it changed to progressive mode. Now we're going to look at the intro and we're just going to go into it. So the OSSC did a pretty good job of, I think all of these devices did a pretty decent job of showing what it can do and what they can do. And I think they gave out a pretty decent image overall, but we're going to go into this and see how this plays out. So far it does look a little more cleaner. The colors do. It doesn't look as dark. And the intro looks a little brighter. And for what I see, this looks, like I said, this is, wow. You're not going to see till the, look at this. This intro looks phenomenal. And like I said, with the retro bit, this almost look HD. And I'm looking at it on my screen and the capture device on through OBS. This looks really good. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. And this is absolutely gorgeous, everyone. I'm not joking when I say this. The Insurrection Industries device, the Carby, this looks really good. And I'm not saying nothing bad about the other ones. They look okay, but this is the best I've seen it. This is the best I've seen this come after looking at all four of these. This looks really good. All right, let's go into the game. And we're gonna go, oh wow, this, I mean, just the mode right here, this looks really good. I mean, oh my goodness, I'm dead serious. This looks, yeah, this, oh my goodness, this looks phenomenal. And we're gonna go right back to random. And we pick in Mitsuguri. And we're going right back to that same stage I like to look at. All right, so let's see if we can get him to move. I know he's a little heavy. Move out the way. Go, 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 go. So now we can see. Now, nothing to take away from the other one, like the component cable, because the component cable looked good too. But when you look at this, this absolutely looks phenomenal. This looks really good. The component cable is almost as good, but when you take the Kaico one and the Hyperkin, this pretty much blows it away in my opinion. This looks absolutely great. And I just can't. I would say personally get the Carby one, but if you want a component solution, you won't go wrong with the retro bit either. But this just looks great. This looks great. Turn around. There you go. This looks good. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through each of them and I'm going to give you a comparison. I have all four of them on the screen so you guys can see what this looks like. And I'm going to give you my final thoughts and opinions. But I will say, on the surface, you can't go wrong with this one. The component one, that one don't look bad either, almost equivalent. The other two look good as well. But I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions after I have all four on the screen together. So we're just going to go from there. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this so far. All right, people, here's the comparison of all four. You got the Kaico at the top left, the Hyperkin at the top right, the retro bit component at the lower left, and the Carby at the bottom right. Now, from what I see here, the Hyperkin is doing a lot better than I thought it would. It's kind of like what I've been saying the entire time. The Hyperkin has held his own. Now, the Kaico, not so much. I kind of wish I had the actual GameCube not component, but HDMI adapter from Kaico. I had one, but it doesn't work anymore. And this one actually, just doesn't cut it. It doesn't. The retro bit component via OSSC straight pass through looks pretty good. It looks really nice. The Carby Interaction Industries one, it probably looks better out of all of them. When you look at the Carby and the Hyperkin together, they almost look very similar. The Hyperkin looks a little bit more blurry, but you get what you get there. The retro bit component pass through don't look bad as well. I think the colors is popping a little bit better there. The actual contrast is better. The Kaico itself, I mean, you probably want to go back and use that for the N64 of this actual device. All the links of these devices will be down in the description if you want to purchase them. All of them range around between $30 to $80. They're not too bad if you really want to get them. My recommendation, you can't go wrong with the Carby or the Hyperkin if you want HDMI, output, direct. But the retro bit component, that's not bad as well. If you have a component set up and you want to hook it up straight through there, you can't go wrong with that either. But the Kaico, I think the Kaico should sit this one out. If you're looking at it, you can see where the jumpiness is going on over there. On the screen, it looks pretty crazy. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll have more to come. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. You guys take it easy. You guys take care. Peace.